Okay, so when you hear the term DAO, right, decentralized autonomous organization, your mind probably jumps straight to blockchain.
Mm-hmm. Crypto, cutting-edge tech.
Exactly. Smart contracts, all that stuff that executes itself on the blockchain, it sounds super futuristic, doesn't it?
Totally. Like something brand new.
But what if I told you the core ideas behind DAOs, they're not really new at all. And that actually some of the best, longest lasting examples, they come from somewhere you might not expect.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Where?
Well, that brings us to our source for this deep dive. It's this really fascinating article called Africa's Enduring DAOs, Digitizing Collective Futures.
Ah, okay. Interesting title.
Right. And so our mission today is basically to unpack that. We want to challenge that whole DAOs or new tech idea. We're going to explore how Africa, well, it's been pioneering these kinds of highly effective, decentralized autonomous structures for centuries, literally centuries before anyone thought of blockchain.
Yeah, and that's what's so powerful about the article's main point. It's not saying Africa is, catching up or just adopting tech from elsewhere.
Right.
It's the opposite. The article argues we're not importing the future, we're digitizing our past.
Wow. Digitizing our past. That's a great line.
It is, isn't it? And it really shifts how you think about innovation. It suggests that these, really effective ways of organizing ourselves, they didn't just pop up in Silicon Valley.
Mm.
They've actually grown organically, in different cultures over generations. They were solving really fundamental human problems, how to work together, how to trust each other, how to manage resources collectively.
Okay. So understanding that history helps us build better decentralized systems now.
Exactly. Instead of just sort of dropping new tech onto situations without understanding the historical context, the cultural context.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So that phrase, digitizing our past, it really does make you reconsider where innovation actually springs from. Can you maybe give us some specific examples from the article? How did these historical African systems work, like DAOs?
Yeah, absolutely. The article dives into some great ones. Think about the systems that managed the historic gold routes in Mali.
Okay, the gold routes.
This wasn't just like a simple path. It was a massive network, really complex. Communities, merchants, producers, all spread out. And it needed decentralized ways to make decisions, build trust, and govern itself across huge distances.
Right, because there wasn't one central authority telling everyone what to do.
Precisely.
Yeah.
No single emperor micromanaging every trade. Instead, you had local communities.
Yeah.
You had kinship groups, specialist guilds.
Sure.
They all established and, importantly, upheld shared rules and shared norms.
How did they enforce those rules without, courts and police like we think of?
Well, they had reputation systems, dispute resolution methods. These basically function like distributed ledgers of trust, but based on social standing and relationships. The rules were enforced through social contracts, getting everyone to agree, and the very real threat of being kicked out. Ostracization was a big deal.
A social cost. Okay. Any other examples? Maybe something more local?
Yeah, definitely. Think about the village Chama. This is something you still see across East Africa. It's a traditional savings and credit group, often pretty informal.
Okay, I think I've heard of those. People pool their money.
Exactly. Members contribute regularly, like a set amount each meeting, and then the whole pot gets given to one member in rotation.
Ah, okay.
And these aren't just, casual get-togethers. They run on principles that sound very DAO-like. Radical transparency, everyone knows who contributed what and who's getting the payout, collective decision-making on the rules, shared responsibility if something goes wrong.
So all the hallmarks we talk about with digital DAOs.
Pretty much. They're self-governing, they're owned by the members, they operate based on rules everyone agreed on beforehand. Their smart contract, if you like, wasn't code on a blockchain.
Right.
It was the social contract, the deep-seated community ties, the collective accountability, and the immediate local consequences if someone didn't hold up their end of the bargain. It's a kind of self-enforcing system built on relationships.
Wow. So systems like the Mali gold routes or these village chamas, they basically DAOs, just, analog ones running for centuries. What does that tell us about, the human need to organize this way?
Well, it seems to speak to something pretty fundamental, doesn't it? A desire for self-governance, for collaboration that doesn't always need a top-down authority.
Yeah.
These structures often came about out of sheer necessity, and they lasted because they worked. They were built on community trust, they had clear rules everyone understood, and the participants were directly involved and accountable.
Okay, so why is understanding this useful for, for you listening? Maybe you're trying to get your head around this whole DAO thing, or maybe you just want that aha moment.
I think it's valuable because it shows that the challenges we're grappling with in modern digital DAOs, they aren't entirely new territory.
Hmm.
Things like, how do you ensure transparency? How do you manage shared resources fairly? How do you build strong consensus mechanisms that actually work? People have been figuring this stuff out for centuries in different ways, in different
So
places.
it's like there's this huge historical blueprint we can learn from.
Exactly. It gives us this really rich source of proven models for human cooperation. It suggests maybe we can design and implement today's decentralized systems better if we ground them in what we already know works, human-wise.
So wrapping things up a bit, this deep dive really suggests that DAOs, they're less of a totally new invention and maybe more like a modern digital version of these really old, really effective ways people have always found to work together.
Yeah, deeply rooted in history, particularly as this article highlights. In Africa, it shows this amazing continuity in how humans organize.
Which leaves us with a final thought, maybe something provocative for you to mull over.
Right. If these kinds of robust, decentralized, collective ways of governing things have worked so well and lasted so long in African societies for centuries,
Mm.
what does that tell us about fundamental human needs or principles? What are they tapping into?
Mm.
And maybe more practically, how could understanding this deep history, this lineage, change your view on how new tech, like blockchain, could best be used? Should it always be about building something brand new from scratch? Or could it be about enhancing, or like the article says, digitizing these already proven models of human collaboration and self-governance?